Tonight on CTV News at 11:30, fire rips through a Garson home, leaving a family displaced. Officials say the property is a loss. Plus, making munitions in Sault Ste. Marie.
What I'm trying to do is to put the community in a space where we can capitalize on an initiative that is going to occur globally.
One councillor has an idea that would help the country and also keep people working. And construction will soon start at the McIntyre Arena. It's supposed to make the facility more accessible, but not everyone is happy about the timing.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. We begin tonight with devastating news for one family in the greater Sudbury community of Garson. Fire crews from 5 stations were called to a home on Stacy Crescent in around 2:30 this morning for reports of flames coming from the house. Flames were already breaking through the roof once they arrived. Fire officials are crediting working smoke alarms and helping the occupants in getting out safely. The house is a complete loss. No word yet on a cause, but the chief says it's not suspicious. Damage is estimated at $750,000. What started as a traffic stop and turned into an $85,000 drug bust for North Bay police. A 48-year-old man is facing charges after he was stopped in the Marshall Avenue area around midnight yesterday. Police say they found cash and a small amount of fentanyl. They add a search of a home later uncovered nearly 600 grams of illicit drugs as well as pellet guns, conducted energy weapons or tasers, cash and other items. Police possible job losses in Sault Ste. Marie due to the ongoing trade war have City Council looking at unique options to keep locals employed. The bid to get a national wildfire center being one. Another is a munitions production factory. A resolution passed Monday night to direct city staff to do a feasibility study that would consider Sault Ste. Marie as location for Canadian defense production and manufacturing. Corey Gardy, the councillor who pitched the idea, says such a facility focus on steel-intensive products would build on the capabilities at Algoma Steel.
What I'm trying to do is to put the community in a space where we can capitalize on an initiative that is going to occur globally with most developed countries, because there is a need. And, quite clearly, Prime Minister Carney has talked about this as, a national security issue, being able to produce your own defense equipment and munitions and the like.
Not all at council were thrilled at the idea of getting into the munitions business, leaving Gardy to make clear he's doing this for economic reasons and not as a, quote, warmonger. The city of Timmins will begin accessibility improvements at the McIntyre Community Center's main entrance Monday. The construction will last until the end of October, but not everyone is happy with the timing. CTV's Lydia Chubak explains.
The McIntyre Community Centre was established during the Great Depression, a time when construction consideration was not given to people who live with disabilities. On Monday, the City of Timmins will begin work to upgrade the Heritage Building's front entranceway. In a news release to the media, the city explains the exterior stairs will be replaced and the main entrance ramp will be upgraded to meet the current Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act requirements, including improvements to the ramp slope, width, handrails, and landing design. One organization that calls this community center home is the Timmins Rock Junior A Hockey Club. Its president, Ted Gooch, posted to the club's Facebook page yesterday what it calls an official notice of the club's concerns over the timing of the construction. Gooch wrote the request for tender closed on June 25th, but the contractor was only awarded the contract on August 5th. Why the delay? And he urges the city to postpone work until spring for a number of reasons, including loss of revenue. CTV News requested an interview today with Gooch, but he said he wasn't sure if he'd be interested in an on-air interview. CTV News also requested an interview with the City of Timmins, but the communications coordinator told us no one, including the mayor, was available for comment. The media release says arena access will be available through the side parking lot and rear doors. The closure of the main entranceway also means the Timmins Fire Department has had to reduce arena capacity by 461 persons, which Gooch says also puts a dent in the Rock's revenue. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
The Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities continues their push for improvements to Highways 11 and 17. Last month, FNOM sent out a statement asking the federal government to include the proposed highway improvements on the major projects list to fast-track the widening and twinning of sections of the two roadways. Today, they are asking Premier Doug Ford to include the projects in his submission to the federal government's MPO list. FNOM maintains these road projects should be considered a priority because of Ring of Fire development. Residents of a low-income independent living complex in North Bay's South End could be forced out as early as next year. CTV's Eric Tashner has the story.
So this window cannot be open.
Natalie Keating has lived at Ferris Massey Drive, West Wind's Village complex for 7 years. Last week, she received an eviction notice.
Well, I filled out for the emergency housing.
In March, the Physically Handicapped Adults Rehabilitation Association, or FARA, started the Save Massey Drive campaign, seeking millions to renovate the units. There has been a lot of water damage over the years, and the heating systems also need to be upgraded.
I had a plug sink for a month, and it went moldy. And it took them almost 3 days to unplug it.
At the time, FARA officials were optimistic that the money would flow in from the community or different levels of government. But the organization has only been able to generate about 15% of the needed $8.4 million.
It remains part of the social housing fabric of our community. Social housing is needed not only here, but across all the communities.
The buildings provide different rental options, including geared to income rent, subsidized rent, market rent, and numerous units are designated for assisted living. Currently, about 80 people live in 40 of the 48 units.
FARA's interest remains not rebuild, repair Massey, and rebuilding starting from scratch is not something that's under consideration by FARA at this time.
The organization has provided services in North Bay and surrounding area for more than 50 years. The N13 notice allows the group to legally evict tenants to allow repairs to be done to the units. FARA is pushing all levels of government for immediate financial aid.
We continue to advocate and work with all of our community partners and government organizations for that intention.
As for residents like Keating, they are worried that they won't have a roof over their head come early next year.
It's very frustrating. It's gross.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Ambulance service in North Bay is getting a boost in funding from the province. Nipissing MPP Vic Fideli making the announcement today in a news release saying the area would get nearly $8 million from the Land Ambulance Service grant, a 15% increase over last year. The increase works out to about $1 million in additional funding. The money will be used to improve critical care for those who need it in an emergency. A new advisory panel is taking shape in Greater Sudbury that will build on municipalities' relationships with local Indigenous communities. A motion next week calls for the creation of an Indigenous advisory panel. Sudbury Mayor Paul LaFive says he wants the group to continue long after this council is gone. While he says the city already has a good relationship with First Nation neighbors and other Indigenous partners, the mayor just wants to make it permanent. It would include representation from Atikameksheng and Anishinaabeg, Wanapate First Nation, as well as local Indigenous groups and other community members.
I think there's a lot of potential to address some of the issues and some of the potential outcomes that we can look that are positives for everybody.
Just so that we have a fulsome representation of different age groups and different socioeconomic groups and things like that, so that the input that they give and the advice they give and the guidance they give is done to the best of our ability.
The Indigenous Advisory Panel would have a maximum of 12 members and would meet 4 times a year if approved. Mayor LaFive hopes to have the group in place by October. Well, time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, we'll look at the current conditions, and we've got lots of cloud cover right across the region once again tonight. Everyone's pretty much in the same boat, although I am seeing a little bit of shower activity in between Wawa and Chapleau. 10 degrees in Temiskaming Shores, 10 in Sault Ste. Marie, 11 in the mining city of Elliott Lake, 7 in Kapuskasing and Timmins. A little chilly up there. Bundle up. We'll have details coming up in a moment.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Welcome to your weekend and the weather forecast. Kind of a crazy day weather-wise on Friday, of course, with all kinds of wind and rain. Not so bad for Saturday and Sunday, but of course that forecast is not going to compare to what we experienced last Labor Day weekend. Have a look at the forecast radar moving through right now overnight, and a chance of precipitation in some sectors Saturday and Sunday, the odd sunny break as well. But again, the severity of the rain will not be as severe as what we experienced on Friday in some areas. Let's take a look at some of the numbers now. Sudbury Nickel Belt, chance of showers for tomorrow, more of the same on Sunday and Monday. Temperatures 14 and 17, warming up to 18, sun and cloud Tuesday. Wednesday, chance of showers once again dropping down to 15. In Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, here we go. Chance of showers for tomorrow and Sunday, 14 and 15, your highs. Monday, sunshine, 19. Chance of showers Tuesday, and 17 with the cloud cover on the cool down. Another 17-degree day come Thursday with the sun and cloud. Meanwhile, in Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, chance of showers for no less than 5 days. Your temperatures, here we go, 13, 10, 15, 16, and 11. Chance of showers for all 5. Then finally some relief, some sunshine on Thursday, 15 degrees with the sun and cloud. How about Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake? Cloud cover to start off the day tomorrow at 16. Chance of showers on Sunday. Monday, chance of showers 17, warming up to 19 Tuesday with the cloud. Chance of showers again Wednesday, dropping down to 14, then back up to 15 Thursday with the sun and cloud. So those temperatures again either close to normal or below normal. North Bay, West Nipissing, chance of showers for 3 consecutive days, 17, 15, and all the way up to 18 by Monday, then 22. You get a break in the action there with some sunshine, some cloud cover as well, dropping back down to 16 Wednesday with the chance of showers, and 16 again Thursday, sun and cloud, your normal for this time of the year. In North Bay, West Nipissing, around 20. So you'll be hard pressed for a couple of days by midweek next week to come close to reaching your normal conditions. Ian, are you ready for the weekend? Here it is. And the weather kind of crazy on Friday. It gets better for the weekend, maybe with the chance of showers for a couple of days. Back to you.
I could stand a little less crazy. Thanks, Rick. Well, big money for the North today as the federal government announced $1 million investment to help a Sudbury College expand research and training with mining companies. The money will be used to help local businesses adopt new technologies through partnerships with the Center for Smart Mining at Cambrian College. Sudbury Member of Parliament Vivienne Lapointe says the federal government is making investments to future-proof the workforce. Mining companies get the chance to adapt and adopt new technology while students gain experience.
For Sudbury, for Northern Ontario, and for Canada, it's indispensable to have a place like this where companies can get the skills, get the talent, get the equipment to make them more innovative, to tackle the challenges we need them to do to keep moving the mining sector forward.
My family's been working in mining for 2 generations now, if not longer. And being able to validate electric vehicle designs in a sustainable way, as well as to promote sustainability in the mining sector, is very important to me.
The funding will help the Center for Smart Mining work with 145 small to medium-sized companies in Northern Ontario in areas like automation, AI, and electric vehicle development. Once students graduate from trades programs, they'll deal with Skilled Trades Ontario, a provincial agency that allows apprentices to become fully certified in their trade. But one local MPP says there aren't enough centers. CTV's Madison Merrier reports.
There are hundreds of career opportunities in trades. However, some students are finding it difficult to complete their Northern Ontario apprenticeships.
We need to have a situation where there are more locations in the north for people in the north to take their training in these tests.
I have some apprentices in the shop in Timmins right now that are very discouraged. They may just leave the trade, period, because if they cannot get past the last portion of their apprenticeship.
There are 2 testing centers in Northern Ontario, one in Thunder Bay and the other in Sudbury. But apprentices in Sudbury say they have to drive to Mississauga to do the test because the wait list in Sudbury is months long.
I had to write an exam, Red Seal, which is 310T, to become a full mechanic. And it's been being a really inconvenient because I have to go to down south for it.
It's just more difficult than it needs to be. Like, I have to go out of town to write my test again, and spend even more money than I already have to. Take time off work for writing my test, and it's just difficult.
It seems every time I call them, there's not really any answers for me, or I get conflicting answers.
We reached out to Skilled Trades Ontario and the Ministry of Labour, Immigration Training and Skills Development for a comment on the delays faced by apprentices, but we did not receive a response by deadline. Meanwhile, Jamie West is calling on the provincial government to make trade pathways more accessible in the north.
We are Northern Ontario and Sudbury, but we're nothing compared to Thunder Bay, right? And so we need to have Kirkland Lake needs one, South Porcupine needs one, Sault Ste. Marie needs one. We need to be able to have testing centers close to where people live. And that shows that commitment that we really do want people to get into these fields and to fill these really important jobs.
The waiting period for exams in Sudbury is impacting more than just mechanics. It's delaying all trades that require Red Seal certifications, credentials that are needed to no longer be considered a student and to earn more money. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
The Planet Youth Nipissing Initiative, run by the North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit, got a $750,000 funding bump today. The Planet Youth Initiative is based on the internationally renowned Icelandic model for preventing substance abuse that saw drug and alcohol use drop from roughly half of all young people in Iceland to just 5% in 2023. The money is key to building and expanding the program with goals of this kind of success in North Bay.
Well, we often talk about problems in our society, and we say, if only we could have started that, prevented that at a younger age. And Planet Youth is all about that. It's about taking action at a young age and trying to prevent unhealthy practices from evolving. And so $750,000 is aimed at a program that is in place in our community, is having an impact. They have established a baseline of use, of substance use, and so programs are in place and there's intervention that is occurring.
We have implemented about 44 initiatives focused on creating supportive environments for youth, so things like a Transit Pass pilot project, mental health coping kits, school and family engagement initiatives, so things that are helping youth feel connected and supported in the community.
The funding is part of the federal government's ongoing commitment to reducing illicit drug use across the country. Well, the need for animal fosters continues to grow across the north, and an organization in Sudbury says it's in trouble. And if more people don't sign up to help, it won't be able to help more animals this fall or winter. CTV's Lindsay Alick explains.
Pet Save and Lively currently has over 400 cats, kittens, dogs, and puppies, despite having 200 foster parents on any given day.
We're over capacity. Literally, they're living in our reception area of our vet clinic. They're in our lobby, on our main floor, and we're in big trouble.
Passat says there are 3 options when it comes to fostering, including picking up a pet for just a day.
We also have weekend fostering, which is great for those busy families who have a busy life all week but really want to enjoy a pet. The other fostering that we do is also the long-term fosters, those who take our fosters and keep them until they found a home, which sometimes can go anywhere from 3 weeks to 6 months these days. Because of the severe overpopulation, long-term fostering is longer term than usual.
We actually adopted from Pet Save 12 years ago. Unfortunately, this year we had to put him down. I have 3 small children that loved him to death, but we're a busy family. He works full-time, so to have a pet right now full-time is too much for us. So fostering is a perfect thing for us because I can now take a dog whenever it's good for us and give that dog a chance to have a happy life, you know, for those a little few days rather than being in a shelter.
Meantime, at the SPCA in Sudbury, officials there say they have 8 foster families with 34 animals in care at the center and foster homes. Right now, they are looking for more specialized help.
We're hoping to find people who can take on some of our medical cases, such as mothers who have just had kittens, puppies that need a little extra care, as well as someone who can take on the anxiety of some of our puppies that they're seeing in the center here, so that they can be more calm in the home and have a better time at finding an adoptable home.
Anything that comes up, the SPCA is very supportive, whether it's behavioral or like material needs. Like I've never wanted for food or training pads.
Whether it's Pet Save or the SPCA, both organizations say everything is supplied, so there is no out-of-pocket cost to fosters. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Still ahead tonight on CTV News. Organizations will be looking to raise awareness next week and hopefully save some lives. It was a busy night out on the ice as exhibition play continued over in the OHL. The troops had a great night down south, taking the sting out of Sarnia. North Bay takes this one by a score of 7-2. And in a close, hard-fought matchup and a battle of the North, Sudbury gets the W tonight in a shootout. The Wolves beat the Sioux Greyhounds by a score of 6-5. And over in the NOJHL preseason action saw the Cam River Fighting Walleye make the trip all the way from northwestern Ontario to Hearst, where they beat the Lumberjacks 3-2. Espanola gets the win in Noelville over the French River Rapids with a score of 7-4. And the Storm come out victorious in Iroquois Falls with a 3-1 win over the Timmins Rock. World Suicide Prevention Day is next Wednesday, a global day dedicated to saving lives and raising awareness. CTV's Amanda Hicks has more on how some organizations in the North are preparing to do just that.
World Suicide Prevention Day falls on September 10th. The Suicide Safer Network, which covers Sudbury and Manitoulin, is offering an event this weekend and will offer various free resources next week. Officials say recognizing the day is important, with 12 people dying in Canada every day by suicide.
Within our region, the statistics show that there's a higher incidence of suicide within Northern Ontario in the Sudbury and Manitoulin regions. And so it's important for our community to make sure that we're aware and we have the education so that as a community we can support one another.
The Canadian Mental Health Association, North Bay and District will be offering an 8-week support group for suicide grief and a suicide alertness workshop called Safe Talk. The support group provides a safe, non-judgmental and compassionate space for people who have lost someone to suicide. The Safe Talk workshop runs half a day to teach those 18 and up the signs to watch out for. Both services are free with limited spots available.
Having that prevention and post-vention support to assist with getting the tools and training in order to assist with the prevention intervention if someone's having thoughts of suicide. And on the other end, post-vention support being accessible to community members who've experienced a loss is very important to help them navigate that unique grief journey.
Those kinds of trainings are very important because one, it reduces the stigma associated to suicide, but also it just helps to bolster our community to make it that we are able to act if ever there's someone within our community that is struggling and needs some support.
Registrations are now open for the free CMHA services in North Bay. In Sudbury, a family-friendly event will be held from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow here at the new Sudbury Centre to mark World Suicide Prevention Day. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
And if you or someone you know needs help, you can access the Suicide Crisis Helpline by dialing 988 or visit 988.ca. Sudbury-based Magna Mining announcing private shares today with a goal of raising $45 million. The local mining firm that currently owns McCready West Mine, among others in Sudbury, announced the private sale of more than 18 million shares in the company. Shares would sell for $2.40 until September 19th, with an additional 2 million shares potentially being made available depending on the success of the sale. The goal is for Magna to raise $45 million of capital at administrative expenses. The company's CEO said in an interview earlier this week that Magna has seen strong results from McCready since buying it from KGHM International, extracting 3 million pounds of copper in the first quarter, adding they are optimistic about the deposits at the former Levac mine site. Chinese culture will be celebrated in Greater Sudbury this weekend at the 3rd Annual Moon Festival. In Chinese culture, the Moon Festival is held around the autumn equinox and celebrates harvest and the full moon. The Sudbury event will include traditional entertainment like Chinese dancing and music, plus food vendors and family-friendly activities. The event is organized by the Chinese Association of Greater Sudbury and will take place tomorrow from 10 to 4 at the Grace Hartman Amphitheater in Bell Park. Make sure to check it out. CTV's Angela Gemmel will also be one of the MCs. Should be a great time. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Friday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you right back here on Monday. Until then, thanks for watching. Good night.